Thanks for tuning in to another week of the Semi-Pros. Great to have your company. Coming up on the show, our ITP Toowoomba Haines Wilson special guest. He was the victorious skipper of the Livewired Lightning last year in the inaugural DDBBL. Kris Glass will join us on the program. We'll head out to the Southern Hotel and we'll join Shane Mogg. We'll have a look at the Southern Hotel shot clock. We'll work out our Hogans Family Jewelers rocks and diamonds of the week. All that coming up on the Semi-Pros. Stay tuned. Up next.
Just about done, mate. Surely. There you go. That's outstanding. That much talent running around in our own backyard.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Semi-Pros. The Semi-Pros.
Ladies and gentlemen, give it up.
The Stower.
Welcome along to another week of the Semi-Pros. Semi-Pros lining up. Joining with me, Troy Gurski. How are you, mate?
Very good, mate. I'm just glad I'm in Queensland. I'm not in Victoria. What a bunch of gooses they are down there, aren't they? Hey? They're ruining it for everyone. Yeah.
Bit happening there.
Where were you last week?
Victoria.
Last week, mate. Oh, mate. In Brizzy. Couldn't get back in time. So, yeah, a bit on at the moment. It's good.
Good heads up for the boys. Let us know. It was appreciated.
Yeah, I didn't let you know about 5
I think you did. Yeah, I think you did.
Yeah.
Oh, well. Anyway, you're here this week.
I'm back. Refreshed.
You're here this week, which is great. Steve Glover, how are you? What's happening, mate?
Great.
Yeah? Why is that?
Yeah. Great. Fantastic. All of the above.
Oh, that's good to know. That's good to know. Joel Stower, how are you?
Busy.
Lively
Real busy.
bunch.
Yeah, busy, mate. Real busy. I was really a Troy Gurski late scratching myself tonight, but lucky I jumped on in time and the producer saw me there backstage and slipped me in.
Got you going. Got you happening. So, bit happening again this week in the sporting world. Plenty happening, actually.
What about actually, before we kick off, for the elephant in the room here, the Broncos fans, can you tell us what's happening with your mob? Honestly, it was an absolute give game last week. It was an easy. You may as well have played the bye and just got beat.
I told you we'd lose. I told you the Titans would win last week.
Whew.
Well, how am I supposed to tell you what's going on? They don't know what's going on themselves. So
Exactly.
Don't put me commenting. The coaches know what's going on. So
Exactly.
Yeah. As I said to you boys,
Sport, surely, right?
as I said to you boys, up the mighty Lions.
Yeah. No, they've sorted it out this week. They've changed another winger.
Yeah.
That'll work. That'll fix things.
Is Boyd out?
No,
No, he got picked.
He's in, is he?
he's
Milford's
still in
in.
the centres, mate. Yeah.
Croft's in. Everyone's
Oates,
in.
Gone. Hooked him.
Oates is gone. As I said, seriously.
The back rower.
The worst thing was that the heat would be on me little mate down below, Steve, here with his Knights, but then my team just took the cake again. So
No one's going any worse in the Bronx at the moment.
We'll be right. We got the bye this week, so we can't wait.
But yeah, I don't know. I was seriously with the Bronx, and then I did see Wayne this week. And said, "Don't blame me." Like they're trying to. It's just a circus. One of the questions I got later is one of the more bizarre incidents in sport. That probably was one of the more bizarre incidents in sport. Wayne's departure from Brisbane to Souths and Seabold's arrival from Souths to Brisbane. That was a proper circus and a half. That, but yeah, I don't know. Will they beat the Warriors this weekend?
I think I'm just on Sportsbet here now. What are they? I think they're
Favourites.
Favourites or something.
don't worry about what Sportsbet says. Oh.
$1.50 favourites. Warriors 260. There you go.
Are they? Anyone who wants 2.6 houses, there's an easy way to get it.
Yeah, I see Brisbane's got a couple more out this week. Lodge is out. Often Gary's
No, he's back,
out.
isn't he? Lodge
No,
back.
he's out. Lodge is out with a knee injury. Yeah, Lodge is out. Often Gary's out.
He's got good knees, that fella, isn't he?
Carrigan's back.
Warriors are probably
Carrigan.
a good price, as Steve said before.
Are we talking about the Broncos later? I haven't checked the schedule.
Don't know. Yes.
How about Seabold, though? The mess of it. They played the last 15 minutes with 12 players because he stuffed up his interchange and didn't leave any there in reserve.
Honestly, though, James and I were watching the game there together, and I said to him, mate, you've got Dearden on the bench. clearly he's brought into the squad as a half that he is.
And played him hooker.
And he's brought him on with 12 minutes to go and put him at hooker.
Yeah, but the week before, he said he didn't want to bring him in. Wasn't the right time to bring him in the environment. And then he brings him in the next week after another loss. So.
Exactly. And you know,
Same
and it's
thing, but like you want to throw the young fellas under the bus, and you know, like you said, the right environment. Then he brings in Tessie New and throws him at fullback.
Yeah,
He's 18
that's
or
what I'm
19-year-old.
he's flicking and changing wingers. Asako gone, then brings him back. He's on the wing. Oates has gone from the wing into the centres.
No, Asako's to the bench, isn't he?
To the back row, and then Asako gone. Yeah, and now Oates is gone. And as I said, and the glaring problems that just everybody can see around their halves, one of their centres, and you persist with them. And as you said, when you've actually got one of the positions where you say, "Oh, we'll throw him in there," and then he just refuses to do it. I don't understand. And then he's just sitting there, put him on the bench, sit him there for 70 minutes, and think, "Oh, well, I suppose I better put him on and play him hooker." Ridiculous.
But then, like, I'm no coach. I've never proclaimed to be a coach, but you know, he's brought Asako onto the bench, late inclusion, because I think they had Hopper on the bench and then they swapped that out. So Asako, he's a winger / fullback. You got Dearden sitting there, who's a half. You're playing him at hooker. So what are you carrying? Just two forwards?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It's a shambles, isn't it? Honestly, you hit the nail on the head there. How can we help them if they don't even help themselves?
I tell you what makes it even worse now for him is obviously with the COVID situation. There's no backup. So if you wanted to make other changes, people aren't playing football because it's only the top 14 playing. So things could get even worse.
I tell you what. Start of the
will.
year, Dave Fafita was an absolute lockdown, lay down misère to re-sign with the Bronx. And I reckon now, especially, you know, like the last few weeks, he'd be just sitting there looking around. I'd be straight down the M1, straight to the Titans, me. Counting the cash.
$1 million a year would be for sure.
Oh, exactly. Mate, it's a flip of the coin. It's not like you're staying at a prestigious club who's going to win a premiership anytime soon.
Come on, mate. The Titans are going to stay where they are for the next 10 years, but, you know.
I think the Broncos might too, mate, the way they're travelling.
Oh, I wouldn't say that, mate. They'll make the changes. They'll clean things out if they got to. But yeah, they're in the worst situation.
Tell you what, Titans get David Fafita. She's a different story for him down there.
I don't think so.
What in terms of their success or in terms of them attracting other players?
I reckon both. I think both. They get Fafita. I think it's a massive draw card. They got some half alright big fellas down there. That Fodawaker, he's a great front row. I reckon he's probably third or fourth best in the comp, front row wise. Pretty underrated sort of style. I was sort of thinking the other day, so what the Broncos should do or need to do or should consider is pay Luke Keary whatever he wants. He's off contract the end of 2021. I think that's when Milford will end up off the free money train. Or bring in James Maloney, who's not playing overseas at the moment.
Yeah, but I don't think they'll be able to do that now. But yeah.
There's no way Keary he wouldn't go for all the money in the world. Why would you? He's probably going to have 5 premierships in a row by then.
Oh, yeah, and I don't dispute that, but I just mean, like, I don't know what money.
They need to do something.
I don't know what money.
Stages now.
And I don't know what money he's on at the Roosters. And obviously the way they're going and players they'll be retaining, he's going to be able to command a lot more money elsewhere if he wants to go, as you said, if he wants to go elsewhere. But anyway.
Roosters have got 400 still on the cap, apparently.
I saw that. I saw that.
Hey, how's that work?
Oh, no idea.
They're going
creative
well.
accountancy.
Exactly, creative accountancy.
Yeah. I want to go slip down there and get this bloke to do me tax back.
He's good.
Yeah.
But anyway, we'll talk a bit more about that later. Now, DDBBL last season was won by the Livewired Lightning. Skipper of that team was Kris Glass. So he was the inaugural captain of the winning team of the DDBBL. I think he's backstage. He's our guest, our ITP Toowoomba, Haines Wilson special guest. Glassy, how are you? Righto. Can anyone else hear him? I can't.
No,
I can't hear him.
Log out and log back in. Chris.
I was going
we'll get
to
him back.
say, we couldn't have had a better lead in. A bloke that just commands the big Hollywood dollars around town. He's the Luke Keary of Toowoomba cricket.
Oh, we'll get him back on shortly. So he's back into the draft as a captain. So as well as a number of other names, we spoke with Kent Reamers about this a few weeks ago about who's thrown their hat in the ring. So it'd be very, very interesting. Have you thrown your name up yet, Troy? Player draft, not necessarily the captain's, definitely out the captain's draft that you've done.
Haven't, but we'll throw it in there at some stage. Yeah.
Righto, he's back. Glassy, can you hear us now?
Boys, have you got me?
Oh,
yeah,
he is. Yeah, loud
and clear. Yeah, after
Thank
Steve
you. Sorry about that.
Steve gave you a wonderful introduction there. So
I'm sure he did.
Can you fix the Broncos' problems for us? We're just talking about. Oh, there's a few shots of you in action too. How good's that?
I'm off them as much as Bubs is. They are disgusting.
So you're a Lions fan too, are you?
They're hard to follow. I'm a big Lions fan now, I can tell you that much.
Yeah, go the.
They've got plenty of members offside too. I was talking to one today that they've paid their membership, so they normally get their tickets for the year, and they don't get to go to the games under that membership that they've paid. So
Bronx.
Yeah. That's why
$6
they could have had 10,000 there last week, and they got 6.
Yeah, that's right.
Is Roosters and Storm tonight?
Yep.
Yeah.
And they've sold it out, haven't they? 25 gone.
Really?
There you go.
Yeah.
They're behind them, the Bronx fans.
Yeah, but back to Glassy anyway. This is his
So, mate, this year, what you've renominated captaincy draft for the DDBBL?
Yeah, I thought I'd have another crack, mate. It was a great competition last year, and I think we had 6 great captains. So when Kent, put that forward, I thought it was only fair that I have another crack this year.
So is it weird lining up again this year, knowing you possibly could be on another team playing against the team that you captained to win it last year?
Yeah, a little bit different, but I think everyone's in that same boat, really, aren't they? So there were some ideas about obviously each team keeping a few players or maybe keeping their captain, but I think probably the easiest way and maybe the fairest way is to everyone start again, and I think it's really exciting. And, a little bit different if you go up and play against your old team, but that's life.
Have the Lightning boys said we want you back? If we can, we're going to redraft you or what? Anything? Something?
Oh, there's been a bit of chat there, mate. There's been a little bit of chat, but I don't think they're committed to taking me or someone else. I think, they've got a bit of a decision to make, actually, I guess, as a team owner with the new rule on what they pick out of the hat. So, yeah, I think it's a good concept.
Mate, and one of your strike weapons from last year, Big Dossie, big Aiden Watterson, he's put his hat in the ring as well. The boys are going to have some tough decisions to make, aren't they? Like you two were probably 2 of your main players last year. So obviously they're going to decide on where they go for the older Kris Glass or the young bull in Watto, haven't
they? Yeah, that's right. They do have a decision to make. Aiden's a very good player, mate. If I was a team owner, I'd be snapping him up. But I guess they've got a decision whether they go with Aiden. I'm not sure what his commitments are in Brisbane either. So, but he'd be a great captain, and I think anyone who gets him will be very well off.
How many captains have nominated for the draft?
I think it's about 8, mate. I think 8 or 9, maybe.
No, Gurski.
8 or 9.
How many teams this year?
6
Same.
again.
So no Troy Gurski, captain. So you might be able to pick Gurski, number 1.
Yeah, I haven't played a lot of cricket with Bubs. I played a little bit. But,
last year you wouldn't be.
Oh, Glover. You always brought the best out of me, Steve.
Yeah, you were the mental strength coach anyway, so you probably have something to do with it.
Yeah, that's all right. I got myself a gig. I'm back next year. Got the call up this week. So maybe.
And
Or with
Glass,
Aztec.
Be running around.
Glassy, just obviously last year, just run us through. You guys were probably you were the informed team during the season. Anything could have happened come finals. What did you just put into place, mate, to get off to that? You got off to a bit of a flyer. What did you just put in place to get off that flyer, mate?
I don't know. I don't think we put too much into place, really, Bubs. I think it was just making sure that we had the right team for the right conditions. You know, it was we thought we had a really tough game in that first game. Obviously, with yourselves, we thought you were probably the best team on paper last year. So, you know, obviously to get away with a win, we were really fortunate. And you know, Aiden Waterson come off last year against you guys in that first game, which really helped. So, you know, that was pretty pivotal. I wouldn't think that we did a lot of prior, I suppose, planning with regards to that, but we were just a bit lucky, I guess, that Aiden come off and probably got us over the line a little bit, got us a total that was probably too much to chase on that particular day.
So lining up this year, like, I don't think anyone expected it could go as well as it did last year. I mean, there's a lot of hype around it and that, but I mean, it was an unbelievable success. So the eyes on the competition, mate, this time around, and everyone is really keen for it again. Like, do you reckon it'll be just as big this year, or how will it differ second year around?
Yeah, I think it'll actually be bigger. I think the fact that we've had COVID will probably bring a lot more people out than we had last year, because everyone's looking for a game of sport on a weekend at the moment. So by the time we get to cricket season, I think everyone will be sort of raring to go in regards to getting behind their team. And yeah, I'm hoping that we get plenty of people out, you know, more than what we had last year. So I think it'll be a success. It's good. We've got, you know, it's sad to see two teams go, but we've got two new teams. And I think that'll be exciting for those owners and those players in those teams.
Just get Zach to put out, probably a question came through there from like you're just speaking about, actually, Aiden Watterson, in regards to you. Captain Grumpy again this year?
Always a tag, apparently.
What was it
Did you
like?
have a mad Monday when you took the cop out this year? Did you have a mad Monday, mate, or did you just get into the booze straight after the win?
Oh, we had a little session down at the National. Actually, it was a good night. Speezy and the boys put a bit of money on the bar, and we didn't really have a cup to drink out of, but Brendan O'Leary tried to drink off the wicket stumps or whatever they were as a trophy. So that was no surprise. Bubs knows him quite well. So
lunatic.
What, as a captain, what was it like jumping across from the club scene where you sort of year in, year out, you've built that sort of camaraderie within the team, jumping across to more this corporate style where you've got a mix of guys coming from sort of left, right and centre coming together as a team, as a captain? How was that experience?
Yeah, I really enjoyed it, Glove. You know, you and Troy especially would know that being, I suppose, a captain of a club team, you're just not a captain, you're the manager, you're the coach. You know, you're organising ball fees, all that sort of stuff. Whereas you had guys taking care of that behind the scenes. You could just really focus on being a captain, which was really good, actually. I really enjoyed it. And it was good to work with different people. I obviously knew my crew through my own club, but the different guys that we had at our franchise from different clubs, it was great to play with some of those guys and build some different relationships.
You won't give away many secrets here, I'm sure, but would you do anything differently this year around, like around the draft? Like first time around, the point system, trying to work out who to draft, how to draft them. Better for the run there? Like, would you change anything second time around? I don't mean players and personnel, but I just mean in terms of your approach. What do you think you guys got it right? Obviously, you won it, so you did something right. But in terms of putting together your team?
I thought we got it pretty spot on. I mean, I think you can always learn little things, but I wouldn't have thought we would have done the draft too much or too differently. Yeah, I think we got it pretty well. I think obviously early you need to try and build your team. Like you need an all-rounder, a keeper, spin bowler, you know, a gun, one or two quicks if you can. And I think most teams did that pretty early and then obviously tried to fill their spots after that. But, yeah, I thought we got it pretty close to spot on. I don't think we had stars all the way through our lineup, but we had some really good guys who did their role in the team. So I think that was pretty important. And getting those bargains like Paul Tui was probably a steal, and I had him earmarked early, but I was lucky to get him, I think.
So of the players that you know that are around, who do you think are going to be the key players up there being drafted early? Who are the key names that are going to pop up for captains, for owners, that they're going to want early?
Oh, it's pretty hard to. I mean, I haven't seen who's nominated, Jimmy, but I think the guys that went top 10 last year, top 20. Most of those guys performed pretty well last year, so I think they'll be there or thereabouts again. I have heard there's a couple of guys from Brizzy, Grey Cricket and Sunny Coast Cricket that have played some South Queensland stuff and Queensland country that might be thought about as well. So, I don't think I've got any specific names, but the guys that were in top 10, 15 last year, I think they'll go pretty close to being pretty sought after, mate.
What did you say, Bubs? Who did you say, Bubs? You reckon to go one?
He told me him.
No, I thought Harry Wood. I thought Harry Wood. And the other one that Glove said, Carroll. I think those two they're young, they're athletic, and they bat, they bowl, and they're guns in the field. I think those two are pretty high up there, I reckon.
Except Carroll's not playing.
Okay, well, he's out.
Yes.
And there's another one that we heard the other day, who Glassy also knows pretty well, Salerno, who plays up north. If he's available, I think he'll be sought after as well. Yeah. Glassy, thoughts?
Yeah, very, very smart bowler, great guy, good team person. So, yeah, I think he'll be sought after, mate. And obviously, a great player, a great team man, but he's probably obviously only in the one bracket with regards to being a spin bowler. He doesn't really hold the stick reads that great. So, I agree with yourself. The Harry Wood types of guys who can do three facets of the game, and the guys that are really going to go early because you get more than one player in that person as such. So you can fill obviously amount of spots in your team with that one person. So, but he'll definitely go high, I think.
Yeah.
Mate, when we spoke to Cam, obviously this was really put in place early on to try and give him a bit of cricket going into the Bulls Masters competition, which I think he went up to and saw Darling Downs go pretty close. How much of I suppose, assistance did that provide, or having that platform you've got in, you've had a bit of 2020 cricket going in there to be able to compete against those other sort of, I suppose, a bit more major centres in Gold Coast and all those sort of regions?
Yeah, I think when we go away to that tournament, we haven't played any T20 cricket before we go. I definitely think that having now a comp at the start of our season that's of high quality is really going to help our team go there each year and perform well. We didn't quite get there last year, and Bubs was a part of that. And I think we all realised we choked at the end, but hopefully we're better for that, and we can go again this year and see if we can get to the Gabba.
Mate, that, as you said, but like that, I hadn't played that Bulls Masters before and hadn't been involved with it for a long time. That team, but was a completely different team to what I'd known in the past because of the DDBBL obviously had helped as well. And I think you'll see it come through the next few years. I think you'll see the Darling Downs team, they'll get through for sure the way they played last year.
Yeah, let's hope so.
Yeah, well, it's up to you. You're the captain, so.
No, I think I'm done. I think I'm done, Bubs. I'm going to hand it to the king.
Just staying on rep cricket there. Obviously, last year I had a good chat to you. We know each other pretty well. You were pretty disappointed you didn't make the country side last year. What's the go this year, mate? You're buckling down to get your spot back or what?
Yeah, I was a bit disappointed last year, Bubs. I probably didn't make enough runs if I was fair with myself. So that's, runs are currency. So that was a bit disappointing, but it is what it is. This year, I'm probably leaning towards not playing South Queensland country stuff or being eligible. I'll probably just focus on playing for the DD Suns at Bulls Masters. And then I'm getting married at the end of the year, so I'm probably going to work towards that for the end of the year.
It's a good goal.
Smart play. Real smart play, that.
And the golf, mate, I think the kick-off last year, you were hovering around that 8 or 9 or something, down, 3 or 4 at the minute? Must be ticking over pretty well there too.
Yeah, I am playing a lot of glove. So, yeah, I'm enjoying that. And, hopefully I can get down a couple more.
What are you off now?
4.
4. There you go. So, geez, plenty of people asking you questions about the Broncos. But a question popped up before from Chris Tate. He must be claiming you as one of his proteges. What was he your coach? And when you're 11 or 12 or something, he tells us.
Yeah, he was. He's my Darling Downs under 12 coach, I think it was, Tatey.
Yeah.
So taught me everything I know, I reckon.
Yeah, that's what he's saying, basically. That's what he's saying. And also, there was another question that came through early in the week from someone you know quite well, wasn't it? Rob Anderson might have been a question, might have been a statement. They wanted to know about what did Rob Anderson say? To ask about your cross-code skills as a goal-kicking coach.
Yeah.
Knew that was going to come up. I was a water boy for our school footy side at the confraternity a couple of years ago, and we had a win, and I claimed that I was the kicking coach. So I don't think he missed one for the whole 4 or 5 days. So I'll put that down to me, I reckon.
Why not, mate?
Yeah, why not? Take the glory when it's there.
That's reasonable. All right. So that's what came up. What else was another question I think Chris Tate was asking me? Was it Sam Neill? I think he was asking about him. So he must be throwing him up there as a decent high draft pick. Thoughts?
Well, we got him for free last year because he was our under 18 player, I think it was. And he was probably player of the final maybe last year in that game against the Umbrellas. So I think again I don't think he'll be an under 18 pick this year, but he'll go quite high too. I think top 10 for sure, I reckon.
Yeah.
Yeah, so there's a few choices to be made. So you'll find out who you're the captain of. When's that? That'd be not far away, actually, isn't it? From memory, July something.
Sunday week, isn't it? 19th.
Sunday the 19th. Yeah.
19th, righto. So 19th.
We'll have the roaming semi-pros camera down there, I'm pretty sure.
Right.
Yeah, Steve Glover on it.
Yeah, we'll rock a few interviews, I reckon.
Again?
We've got James comparing the day. And I reckon we might see a couple of the other 3 down there, maybe having a few refreshments, doing a few interviews, I reckon.
Steve had a few impromptu sort of interviews via Snapchat at the inaugural captain's draft.
Yeah.
I wish we could replay them.
Nearly on par.
I wish you could bring up the display picture of the DDBL. He's in it, isn't he? With the camera.
Yeah, he's got the camera in the background. Yeah,
it was
Glove. He's there right front and centre.
It was similar to Favola's efforts at the Brownlow there a few years ago.
Yeah.
Never to be given a mic again.
Exactly. Yeah.
2 headlocks.
Actually, that's a pretty good comparison. Actually, like if anyone got the Snapchat feed that night, it was it was worthy of. Anyway, yeah, they probably can't be played again though. So, but now we'll see what you come up with this year when you're down there. So, right, so that's on the 19th, and then end of the season, so you get drafted by and start the whole process again. Then to the players draft, and we'll see how it all works out. So you have the illustrious title, obviously, of the inaugural winning captain. So now you get the chance to go back to back, mate, this year. So we wish you all the very, very best with that. I hope the golf keeps going quite well also. I hope the Broncos rebound. I hope the goal kicking continues the way that it has. So ticked a few boxes there. But all the best for the upcoming season, mate, and we'll look forward to seeing you at the captain's draft.
Thanks, boys. Thanks for having me.
Cheers, mate.
So it's Kris Glass joining us on the Semi-Pros. We'll take a break. We'll head out to the Southern. Up next.
Hi guys, Lockie here. Hogans Family Today we're looking at how you select the perfect. We need to consider the four C's: cut, colour, clarity, weight. In terms of discussing the cut of a diamond, we need to consider the aspects of the qualities of the cut. At Hogans, we only source triple excellent cut diamonds. In terms of colour, we look for white stone. We source stones from a D through to a G colour, the top 4 colour grading. Clarity is another really important factor in selecting a diamond. We don't want to look at the diamond every day, inclusions or marks in the stones that distract from the beauty of the piece. The final of the four C's is carat weight. A lot of people believe that diamond's value is based just on its carat weight. This isn't truly the case. It's a combination of all the four C's put together. There's one final hidden factor that I need to discuss about finding the perfect diamond. It's called fluorescence. When she wears the ring, natural sunlight, UV light, where the diamond is supposed to sparkle at its optimum level. You don't want any reaction. You don't want the diamond to go foggy, or a milky colour, or even a little neon blue tinge through the diamond. This is why we only sell nil fluorescence diamonds and make sure that diamond stays crystal clear whether you're indoors or outdoors. There will be no reaction. Fluorescence is one of the largest factors devaluing.
We've been in lockdown, so let's turn up the lights. TGW and Smithy's promotions presents Lockdown, Lights Up. July 11, July.
Thanks for joining us on the semi.
Jeez, back on.
Do you have a big on there sound-wise, or was it just mine?
No, it jumped. Yeah, there's plenty of echo there, so you could hear it a couple of times over. So that's good. Yeah, a bit like that. Are we heading out to the Southern Hotel to see what's happening out there? So plenty happening at the Southern at the moment. They'll be pretty excited. We were out there last week, Troy. Actually, terrific, wasn't it? We were out of fire. Yeah, we were out there last week. So here he is, Shane Mogg. How are you,
mate? Excited, ecstatic, beyond words. How good is it?
Jeez, that's an old shirt. Have a look at that.
Party. I actually, before I got up here, I did a quick walk through the old back of the gaming room to make sure Gurski was going to be in tonight, to be honest with you boys. I thought I'd have to drag him out.
Oh, we all know are we? Slide a little 20 in.
Yeah, so no, look, we're obviously very excited about it. Everything's just going to become a little bit more easier for everyone to get in and enjoy their favourite meal or their favourite drink, or, you know, come and make sure the Brickies laptops are still tuned up the way they were. We've done a fair bit of work through the old gaming room since the old COVID shutdown. So there is a bit of a new look through the gaming room. So hopefully people appreciate what we've done and how we've gone forward with the social distancing and made things a little bit easier for everyone.
Okay, so that's all happening. So when are they back tuned up from?
Midday tomorrow, mate.
There you go.
Midday tomorrow, 12 bells. Also, I guess with the 12 bells comes the reopening of our smoking area and all that. So things sort of start to move back to normal, and you can pretty much walk in how you were the week before they shut us down and enjoy yourself, which is amazing.
Okay, so pop out and enjoy all the different, whether it's Spa 839 there, obviously Fire and Ice, everything happening out there at the moment. Now, on the big screens, the Home for Life Sport, what's happening this weekend?
Well, mate, what a game tonight. What a cracker. The Melbourne Storm meet the Roosters again. I think there's still a bit of bad blood there from the premierships, and obviously Teddy's coming back. It'll be interesting to see how he comes back from his bit of a break, but that's going to be a cracking game. And as we move forward, I think the Eels are going to absolutely romp it in this weekend. Jolie, you must be frothing it a bit. No matter what you put on them, you're going to get back, aren't you?
How many schooners are you at?
Not enough, mate. Not enough.
You're shocked. Jeez.
Quickly after this, but no. Look, yeah, all the NRL.
They're doing all right, mate.
AFL action. Sorry, boys.
So the Eels are doing all right, mate.
No, they're going all right.
They're going okay.
They sort of put me in my place last weekend with that field goal. I sort of bit devastated about that. Cost me my multi, but no worries.
So all that's on
against them, brother.
Yeah. So everything's happening down there this weekend. What about what do you want? What's your best suggestion for us on the menu? What are we coming in to eat this week?
I finally bit the bullet and had a go at the new Thai beef salad, the new Thai salad they've got on.
Yeah.
With the Vietnamese noodles. Absolute cracker of a dish. Get that bit of lime over the top. Can't go wrong.
Righto. So that's the best bet there. And that. What about, have you got a winner for us on the punt or anything?
Right, I tell you what, I
Here
actually
we
backed Gary Gearin in the third at Warwick today, so that was a nice one. But I'm going to go.
Oh, after Ray's tipster.
Melbourne Storm, the Rabbitohs, and the Roosters all to win 13+.
Whoa.
Say that again.
That's not
the Storm play the Roosters.
Storm are playing.
Sorry. Roosters, Eels, and Rabbits. Sorry.
Right.
Roosters, Eels, Rabbits, all 13+, all up that. We got the Roosters. We got the Roosters Melbourne 13+ up last week. They both won 13+, so hopefully we can roll back into it.
Right.
Jump on up there. You'll take that.
And, I hear Halloway's a certainty next weekend. I'm chasing me money.
well, there's plenty of money to be made this weekend. You can do it down at the Southern Hotel. Pop in and see the team down there. So, Shane, thanks for joining us on the show. Have a fantastic weekend.
No worries, boys. Enjoy.
Shane Mogg joining us there from the Southern Hotel. Yeah, no, Bubs and I, we were down there last Friday. Took the legend down there. Randall, he loved it, didn't he?
Big Randall, he loved it. Yeah, went down there, bit of lunch. It was good set out, wasn't it? Had plenty of people in there.
Yeah, so highly recommend pop down there. They've got all the lunch specials there at the moment. As I said, everything back to almost back to normality this weekend. Righto, Southern Hotel shot clock. We talked a lot about this at the start of the show in terms of the Brisbane Broncos. So, first question, and we did a poll on this during the week, so I'll show the results of that, or I'll announce the results of that. But I'll start with you guys first. Will Anthony Seibold see out the season as the Broncos coach? So when we get to the end of the season, when they're on Mad Monday, is Anthony Seibold still the coach of the Brisbane Broncos? Joel?
Yep. I was lucky enough to be at the coast on the weekend. I was speaking to a good friend of the show, Michael Witt, on Monday, and I was just having a chat about the very same topic. And he said to me, mate, he'll be there for sure, because the ones that signed him up to the 5-year deal on the board there, they've got to, if they've punt him, they've got to save their own bacon to say why they're going to pay his contract out for the next 5 years. And I thought, pretty reasonable way to look at it in terms of, well, they're going to save their own bacon by keeping him on and just saying, well, we'll give him another chance, essentially. But, I think he'll still be there.
Okay. Steve?
Yeah, I think he will be, but I don't think he should be. So if I was the Broncos, I'd be punting someone back there and getting back to a more culture-based coach. And Kevy Walters, which I thought was probably pretty rough, he should have got a gig there and one of the old boys and get that. What they missed leadership. They missed that. They missed the old guys coming back and being able to instill that, I suppose, passion around the club. And I think he'd be the man for the job, but I think we'll definitely see Seibold there. For what Joel just said, they've got to be an embarrassment for them to sign him up to 5 years, then hook him after 12 months. So
I disagree with you, Steve, on Kevy Walters. I reckon he is the most overrated coach, and he showed that when he was coaching the Catalan Dragons over in France.
They don't need a coach. They need a people person to get in there and bring a club together. They need more than an X's and O's coach on paper. That's not going to do a thing for them, because Seibold would be the X's and O's coach there. He's going around strategies and all that sort of stuff, and look where it's getting them.
But there's more to coaching than just sitting there and getting the boys up for a bit of a game. Obviously, you got to handle the salary cap. You got to handle everything behind the scenes.
Not really, I disagree. As a head coach, there's that many support staff around you to bring in those technical guys to bring in and do the coaching. As a head coach, you've got to be the guy that oversees it and brings it all together.
That's what I mean.
That's what they need, I reckon.
Mel Meninga was the best ever at it.
Yeah. Probably one of the worst technical coaches getting around. So
he had Michael Hagan prior to that. He had all the different guys that he had that were involved there that looked after that side of things. Neil Henry, go through it. But yeah, it's interesting.
I don't reckon Kevy's the answer though. I reckon that's just jumping out of the fire into the fry pan for that.
They need someone with that management. It's a management role. It's not on the best X's and O's coaches. But anyway, we'll see.
So you're saying he'll be there.
He'll be there
at the end of the season.
for sure.
Troy?
Hello. Should he be there? No. Will he be there? As Steve said, yeah. Well, his first year in his deal, 5-year deal, he's going to be there. But as we touched before, as Steve said, like they need to get back to a bit of old school stuff. Like they've got a very young team. They need someone that shows them the history of the team and what it takes to play for the jersey. I think he needs help, and I think he's going to be given help, and he's going to have no say in the matter. He's going to get someone else in there with him to give him a hand, whether it's a Walters or someone like that.
Kearney.
Well, that'd just
he'd be perfect.
How would he be perfect?
He's one of the best assistant coaches going. Terrible head coach, good assistant.
Perception, mate. He just got sacked from the bloody Warriors. Yeah. They need, like Steve said, like a Walters or someone in there. He's going to have help. I think he's going to get told you're getting help. You mightn't like it, but you're getting it. And I reckon that's what's going to happen. But he'll be there at the end of the year. Yeah, but he probably shouldn't be.
I reckon he'll be gone.
When?
Before the end of the year. They won't get better. I'm not trying to be a pessimist here, but I just can't see them getting better. Like, how are they going to get better? And I understand what you said before, Joe, about the board. I actually think the opposite. I think the board's going to have to be shown to do something. Someone's going to go. And they can't keep sacking wingers.
Not when they're a publicly listed company.
Yeah, exactly. They'll be like, well, we're stopping the rot now because we're a publicly listed company and we can't see the club go down the gurgle the way that's going. It needs a refresh, a reboot in a new direction. Mm-hmm. I reckon he'll go. I whether rightfully or wrongfully, I think whether he'll resign or he'll be punted. I actually don't think he'll see this season out because they just, as I said, like unless they get some results, like I heard him talking the other day, our aim is still to make the playoffs. Well, please. They like look, am I being unrealistic? Like they will be where they're sitting at the moment, 1 or 2 spots above that is the best that they'll finish this season. Unfortunately. Like seriously, how they like you know what I mean? Like they'll win a few games. They might compete with Canterbury and I don't know now. After the Gold Coast last week, they weren't in the game there. They've. So I just think it's completely broken, and I don't really see how it can be fixed. I think they need a change altogether. So, I think to coach him? I don't know, and I don't know. I don't know who you get in. I don't know who you get in
from Queensland. That's a current coach in the NRL. He got 1 year left on his deal and be looking to come home.
Craig Bellamy.
Boom.
Yeah, but everyone wants Bellamy.
Yeah, but he's from Queensland. He wants to retire in Queensland. He's got family up here. I'd be saying, here's the checkbook, brother. You just write what you want there. Come in here
and the Broncos are a club that can do that.
Yeah, I tell you what it does show. When you get a bloke in to coach who he hadn't had much experience, hadn't he?
He had one season.
That's right. Coach, and he's coaching one of the big teams of a comp. The pressure that you're under, you need one of those big blokes, don't you? Like a Bellamy, like a Bennett.
And even when he went to the Rabbitohs, when he went to the Rabbitohs, it was he followed Madge there, didn't he?
Yes. Yep.
So he's a good coach in his own right, and he had his own systems going there. So
inherited a good roster.
That's what I'm saying.
He obviously did, but he did a great job for him. They played for him. They obviously did. They played for him, and that. And
but again, they already had that culture built, didn't they? The Broncos were already on the decline.
Not really. Not really. When Wayne was there, they still were.
Wayne pissed off all the legends there when last time he was there.
Yeah, but I mean, as the team that they had, they were still performing. They were going all right. They're making
as
the
a team,
finals.
They were going okay, but I mean, in the background where they seem to have all these issues.
Yeah, but I mean, the issues exist with the 17 that run out there.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. But I mean, from what you're saying,
going like bastards.
But is it necessarily the coach's fault then?
But that's what I'm saying. Someone's just how it works.
I know the coach picks the side.
But I mean, it's just how it works. That when things go bad, the coach gets the bullet. Someone's the fall guy. They're not going to sack the assistant coach or the ball boy or the water runner.
You should know that, Joel. You should know as good as anyone, mate. Your club went through it for about 20 years.
I know. Still going through it.
The fact that he hasn't. The fact that
Did sacking the coach every time work for us?
Probably
Eventually.
not.
Yeah. We had Ricky Stewart there. He went like a bullet, didn't he? Stephen Kearney, he went real good for us, yeah. No, those two fellas went enormous.
Yeah.
Even Brad Arthur, when he first started, they went like bastards. I think Brad Arthur won the spoon and was looking, and then all of a sudden you stick with it and persevere, get a few things changed around in the background. I think that he's
getting the right roster.
Yeah, that's the thing. He's only been there 18 months, hasn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah. Why I think Seabold will walk the plank is that, and again, tell me if you guys see it differently. It's not that they're losing; it's how they're losing, and they seem to have no sort of like what Steve talked about before. I don't know, passion or commitment or will or want to play for the bloke beside them. Like there's teams out there going that look at the Titans. They got a horrible roster, really. You know what I mean? Like they don't have a roster willing to compete, but they have a dig. I've watched a couple of games there where they're just outgunned. They have a go. Even the Bulldogs, mind you, haven't seen their last couple of games when they've been flogged. But I mean, even early on the season or so, like they're having a crack when they just don't have the cattle. Where the Broncos,
I'm telling you why they got that leader that stands up in the pack, or they got a leader there that stands up. Who the Broncos got to lean on as to a leader right now?
They still got enough players that play for a long time. But Alex Glenn and Darius.
But they look
like
for a long Darius time. Boyd and Payne Haas. Do you know what I mean? Payne Haas is the leader who's leading by example in terms of going forward, getting them going forward, getting them on the back.
Doing an unbelievable job as well, I might add.
What is he? He wouldn't have even played 51st grade games.
Yeah, and he's 19 years of age. Yeah,
so you're putting a lot of weight on his shoulders. And then the team around him, you look at Brodie Croft, he's a young fella. Jake Turpin, he's a young fella. Whoever's going to play fullback's going to be a young fella, whether it's Asako, Newey. Milford's only relatively young. What's he, 26, 27? So it's not, I think that they need an older head there. Like the perfect bloke would have been a James Graham maybe 3 years ago. He's busted now and he's done. But, three years ago, get that sort of player. James Maloney.
They cleaned out. They cleaned out those sort of players, mate.
That's right.
That's the issue.
And that's why they're going terrible.
So that's the first bloke I was about to say. Wouldn't he be that guy now that's got that all that experience on his belt? Unfortunately, obviously, Matt Gillett, injury-wise, crippled him, of course. But
even a Josh Maguire.
That's what I mean. So, and the other reality I think is that unfortunately, in the key positions in rugby league, they still don't. Their players aren't up to A grade NRL standard. Croft, Milford, whoever the 9 is now.
I disagree, mate. I reckon Croft goes all right. He tries his heart out. He's got
he does. Tries his heart out, but he's not up to.
But it's a bit different. Like, you know what I mean? Like when you're getting the ball on last tackle and like you're 40 metres out. What else is he going to do?
Yeah, but
he's not a game manager, is he?
He makes his tackles.
That's what he's been brought in for.
Yeah, but that's not his role. He's a running half. He's not a game manager.
That's where they need to nick Milford off. Paul Dearden and Croft in the halves.
So
couldn't go any worse. It's worth a throw at the stump, surely.
I'd be putting more than I don't know. But Cameron Moody's right. How's Darius Boyd keep his starting spot? The Broncos need the recruitment person sacked as well. Like that. That's the part, as I said, I don't get. Like this is a club that told Wally, "See ya." This is the same club that told Alfie, "You should go to England because you're not going to get picked next week. Ben Walker will be the halfback." I know that changed. That story changed because Wayne brought him back, and it's a amazing story. But at the end of the day, he was told, "You should leave, son." Petro said, "I want this much." They said, "Yeah, well, no, you're not going to get that here."
Bring in big Joel Clinton.
Said, "Right, I'll go to Penrith," and he did. Like now, all of a sudden, why or what or how does Darius Boyd have to keep getting picked?
I've got a theory on this. I got a real good theory on this. How much truth? I don't know. I think I've just conjured this up in my sleep. But I reckon, this is good. I reckon this is the deal. I reckon they've said to Darius, "We'll let you see out this year," because he's got a year to run on his contract too on big money. 800,000. No, he's got another year to run.
No, but does he have to play a certain amount of games to get that contract payout too for the season?
No, he's still got 12 months to go, but he's pulling the pin early. I reckon they said, "We'll let you see out the year. We'll leave you in first grade. We'll let you play out the year, and then you retire at the end of this year and we don't have to honour your contract. Because if they retire, then, there's 800,000 in the cap.
What will just suffer for it?
Well, I don't know. That's the only logical thing why you would have
exactly. And if that's what they've done, there's your reason why the Broncos are in the state they are. If you're going to make deals like that with players.
That is the only logical thing that I could conjure up as to why he would still be in that 17. I would have had him in the 30 squad this year.
Because, see, and this is what I mean.
Last year.
And this is what I mean. Like, they actually have, that is one of the areas where it's, they got a few guys there now, like that Xavier Coates, obviously, is a really good young player. You talked about Corey Oates. Now, all of a sudden, there's Tessie Newey, Jermaine Asako, Katoni Staggs, Herbie Fernworth. They've got a number of players there that they actually have options in the 3 and 4, 2 and 5 and 1 positions. They actually have options, but he keeps his spot.
That's the same as Milford too, I reckon. By him locking down that 6, there's Corey Pate, who they've put into dummy half. He's a half. I think there's Sam Scarlett. There's, another fella down there, Tom Gamble. Obviously, Dearden. There's a heap of young halves coming through that might even have a crack.
Yeah. Anyway, we've probably got the 24-second shot clock that this first segment was first designed for. Has gone about an hour. Next question. I tell you the viewers, I think, was more in the favour that he'll hold his position. So what do we end up with? 66. No, sorry, the other way around. Of our vote, 66% reckon he's gone. 34% is safe.
Gone.
That's the viewers' thoughts. Should they cancel the AFL season with all everything that's going on? Travel restrictions, you can't come in here. 14 days out of that. Queensland not allowed there. Here, Steve. Should they just bin it? Like, is it getting a bit ridiculous or what?
No, keep it running. So there's like young Troy over there. He'd have no one to support if the
So true. So true. Thanks, mate.
You'll be losing however many fans there are to the game. So how many Broncos fans? So
yeah. Troy?
Yeah, same as Steve. Keep it running. If they've got to go elsewhere, move them interstate. Move some to Darwin, Queensland, New South Wales, South Australia.
Yeah. For the next amount of rounds or something, Perth Hub.
Move them out and keep them going.
Yeah, good call.
Especially because we've got 2 Queensland teams in the top 4 at the moment.
Yeah. Joel, thoughts?
Yeah, keep it going. It's good for the multis. Anchor a few on the multis, so keep it going. How many possessions and offloads or whatever it is, the disposals.
I think it's insane that people are saying to bin it because, one, just obviously the enjoyment it obviously provides for people that have, something to watch. And secondly, all of the people it employs at all different levels. Like, imagine if it just gets binned. All of those people that, we had Steve Price on the show earlier in the season, obviously out of work because they didn't have an NRL season at the time. So imagine the amount of people here involved with the game of AFL that if there was no season, they wouldn't have, absurd. Righto, basketball, Brian Goorjian, the winningest coach in NBL history. I think he is anyway. Well, if not, he's one of and highly regarded. He's coming back to Australia to take on the Hawks, who haven't had success in a long, long time. Everywhere Brian Goorjian's gone, he's found success. Steve, him at the helm. Will the Hawks make the NBL playoffs?
Oh, it'll be, don't know if they'll make the playoffs. It'll depend on the cattle they can get over here. And I think imports now, because what is it, 2? Back to 2.
Yeah.
Getting stud imports is going to be fairly crucial in a team's success, and there'll be a lot more opportunities for young Aussies too. But they had a pretty good local nucleus because really, if they can get those imports right, they're going to go a long way about it because, geez, they've had some garbage imports. So
exactly.
And they got nothing out. Like, Ball was good last year, but they got nothing out of him. What did he get, 8 games or something? Then he got injured. Then he was out. And he always had something at the back of his mind. So, but they've recruited horribly lately. So in the previous season, so if they can get themselves a stud come in, then they've got the young Aussie pieces to put them around him, and he's the guy to do it too. Like, he's had success at the Kings, he had success at the South Melbourne,
the Titans.
Yeah, so like and even as the Aussie coach, like he sort of had teams that didn't have the cattle back then, got them performing pretty well. So, yeah, I like it. Lucky that he's back and very experienced and obviously pretty well respected bloke around the basketball circles too. So,
yep, for sure. Troy, what do you reckon? Hawks playoff?
Yeah, he's a winner, isn't he? Gorgon always has been. He'll, as Steve said, I think he'll get them going and he'll attract players. He'll get players that will want to come and play for him. Import-wise, he'll probably know more than most around the areas. He'll nail the import. There wasn't many times over these years where he didn't with the teams that he had. He always nailed which import he had.
And if they weren't, they were gone.
Exactly. He doesn't stuff around. Yeah, I like him. I love him as a coach. Passionate. But he's a winner. Always has been. Yeah.
Joel?
Yeah, I agree. Success breeds success, and he's a successful coach. So, I tend to agree with what the comments were before me, that he'll certainly bring in some winning players, that's for sure, and get them going. Not too bad.
I reckon they'll make the playoffs just because he'll, as you said, he'll get the right mix, and he's obviously a very, very good coach, and he's had success everywhere where he's been. I just think it's great for the NBL that he's back involved, and obviously we've seen the revival / rebirth of the Kings in recent years, despite the fact they haven't been able to win, but they've obviously had some success there and attracting decent players and all the rest of it along the line. So you can just imagine if Gorgon's back in town and just down the road at Illawarra, that'll be interesting. So, and he'll get the best out of those young guys. You're right, Steve. They had some really good young players, actually. They just had absolutely, I think whatever word you use, garbage, horrific. Just the imports they had, honestly, were.
Aaron Brooks, I think. They got nothing from him. He was about 80 years old, but.
Yeah. He was okay there, but then obviously he went down. Yeah. That was the end of that. And then they had, what was the bloke who was an import the year before that was no good, and they decided to pick him up, and he ended up playing off the bench about 8 minutes. Boone, Josh Boone, is that him?
Yeah.
Honestly, he shouldn't even. Yeah, he shouldn't have been in the top 10 of any roster, regardless of import or not, and he was getting paid as an import. Milford's stealing money. Well, he was close behind him, whatever he was on. Final question, right? I saw this pop up on Facebook the other day. June 28, 1997, Mike Tyson's disqualified for biting the ear of Evander Holyfield. One of the more insane, crazy moments we've seen in sport. It's became sort of quite understandable with Iron Mike. Obviously, he was just a lunatic, but biting half the ear off of Evander Holyfield. So I thought we'd talk about bizarre incidents in sports history. What's some of the more bizarre? What is a bizarre incident in sports history that comes to mind, or the most bizarre incident? This goes pretty close. This nearly would have to take it, Holyfield Tyson. But what do you got, Joel? You got any more bizarre incidents in sports that you've seen?
Sticking on the boxing theme, mate. 93, I think it was November 6th, I think, 93. Another Holyfield moment, Holyfield Riddick Bowe. Old fan man.
That was for the episode from The Simpsons.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. That was pretty bizarre. Holyfield twice.
Boxing's had a few, actually. But, Steve, you got a bizarre sporting moment?
Oh, I've got one, but just go to Bubs if he's got one.
I got one. It was a local one years ago on the local cricket scene, finals time. I was young fella.
You see Luke Banahan's comment.
Yeah, that's correct too.
Bit the ear off of happens pretty easy.
Local cricket scene. I was up watching a final years ago when I was young. I was about 17, 18, and Brothers Diggers were playing Mets. Mets had won first innings. Then Brothers come out second innings, got some quick runs, and had to bowl Mets out. Mets just had to keep them out. Got down to 9 down. Number 11 strolled out with Darren Taylor batting with Paul Toohey. Had to bat 2 hours. Got through the last ball of the day. So all they had to do was just see the ball out. They've had an LB shout.
What's that, Steve? A bit of porn or something?
They've had an LB shout because turned down, so victorious. The batsman's gone to go running off the field, and Brothers waited for him to run off the field out of his crease, threw the ball in, and took the bars off. And so the umpire didn't know what to do, so he gave it out. and then it nearly turned into an all-in brawl on the field. It was the most bizarre thing I've ever seen. And it turned out brothers had won the game, and then it took until the Thursday. Then they withdrew their win and gave it to Mets on the Thursday, 2 days before the grand final. It was pandemonium. People running everywhere. There's blues starting out in the field. Spectators were getting into it. Yeah, bizarre.
How bizarre.
Yeah.
Steve, what's news.com delivered for you?
No, I had it in mind. The Irish jockey who was in that jumps race a year or two ago fell off, jumped on the thing, kept the reins, jumped back on, and then got home and got up, had a win. Perseverance. Good to see some jockeys having a go, because I tell you what, there's a couple out there.
Plenty that
don't.
Purposely jump off.
Yeah.
What was this jockey's name?
Oh, I couldn't even find it.
He lost the irons too, didn't he? And rode it home without the irons too, didn't he?
Yeah, I don't know.
Bareback. No, there's been
legs going everywhere.
Yeah, no, there's been some bizarre incidents in sports. Oh, I was looking through a few the other day when this thing popped up with Tyson. They said, "Where's this rank in sports most bizarre moments?" And I thought one of yours, Joel. I actually thought you'd come up with it, so I was trying to give it back. I did the Malice at the Palace.
Oh, I loved it. Ron Artest.
That's like I was watching it the other day to see him and
Ben Wallace.
Like climbing through the crowd, and it was.
Geez, he let him fly, Ronnie, didn't he?
it was one of the more
Panda love.
It was one of the more bizarre things you'll ever see. And anyway, Ken Glover, the Sandpaper Boys in South Australia would have to be hard to beat. True.
That's fair. That's real fair. Yeah.
Correct.
I don't know if bizarre is the right word for it, but that was.
How about your little mates, the Phillies, against the Aussies in that basketball game?
That popped up as well. That was today, wasn't it?
Big Fun Maker throwing the karate.
Yeah.
With the flying knees.
That was, there's been some pretty bizarre moments in sports. So, but there's a few. If you've got any, send us a thought on it or throw them up there. But that's a look at our Southern Hotel shot clock. Right, we're going to take a break. When we come back, we'll have a look at our Rocks and Diamonds and our multi of the week.
Let's go on a journey and we'll look at where this bromance all began.
We met 9 years ago.
Yeah.
Where we worked for a local, large local bank, I suppose.
It was at that prominent local bank that put people first. Our eyes met across the room. They locked. And we knew that we needed to go every Wednesday to the Irish Club for a $10 steak and chips.
I can still vividly remember one specific Wednesday actually where I looked across to you and romantically said, let's take our relationship to the next level.
What a day.
And with tears in your eyes, you accepted.
Great, and it was from that moment where you were like, Liam, this is it. This is our time, that we thought, well, let's take on a challenge. Let's see if we can do this. We moved to another bank, heavily underperforming in the local region. We ended up taking it from 0 to hero. We took it to number 1 in Australia, this bank, and that's when I looked into your eyes and I knew that, hey, we could do this. We can make something of this. We can help Toowoomba. And that's where Haines Wilson was born.
So now we jump forward about 3 years to where we've got Haines Wilson up and running. We've taken it from 2 of us, myself and Liam, to 24 odd staff, helping people not just with buying their first home or borrowing money, but planning for their life and looking after their financial needs across the board.
For us, it's been a wicked journey. I think we're already over 500 people locally now that we've helped. We just want to thank all of our friends, our family, the local community, our referrers for backing us in, for giving us a go, and continually just spreading that good word of mouth. That's what we've built this business on, is just a solid foundation of close friendships with our clients. And we'll be forever grateful for allowing us to reach this part in our lives, this goal that we've had. So if it wasn't for you guys, we wouldn't be able to live our dream. So. Spot on. Much love, much love.
We've been in lockdown, so let's turn up the lights. TGW and Smithy's Promotions presents Lockdown Lights Up. July 11, right here live from Smithy's TGW gym and beamed right across the world via epicenter.tv. Hosted by myself and Joel Stower from the Semi-Pros.
It's a night of live boxing and entertainment. These bags have been hit by some of the biggest names in the history of the sport, and we want to relive those stories on this historic night with a number of special sit-down interviews.
While we take a trip down memory lane, we also put the spotlight on today's stars. Live boxing headlined by the IBF Australasian Super Lightweight title bout between champion Stephen Spark and challenger Mick Whitehead.
COVID may have won in round 1, but we're fighting back in round 2.
Visit epicenter.tv to order this history-making event.
At the Southern Hotel, our Sunday steak special has been so popular, we want to offer it on Saturday too. 180-gram rump mignon, 400-gram New York cut T-bone, or a huge 500-gram grain-fed rump, all for just $23.95. It's better at the Southern.
Let's have a look at our Hogans Family Jewelers Rocks and Diamonds of the Week. Rock of the Week. What do we got, Steve? You want to kick us off?
Yeah, we've got the Major League Soccer who are in their bubble at the minute. Over in Disney World, like in Orlando, it must be similar with the NBA.
NBA, yeah.
But the caterers over there, their $65 sandwich and banana deal for all the players over there. So they've obviously known the players can't go anywhere, so they're cashing in. So I can share it or something to Zach to throw up. But, yeah, tweet from Omar Gonzalez. Yum, MLS is back. It looks like a dirty old ham sandwich on rye bread with a banana there for $65. So,
and the players have to pay for this. Unreal. So they've done well there. So they're your rock of the week. Cash it in.
Caterers.
Joel, rock of the week.
I've gone the big fiery ranger from the Raiders, big Corey the Horse Horsburgh. He's snapped his foot there the other night, and he's got a bit upset, the big fella, and a few tears down the face when Ryan Madison sort of manhandled him on the ground. And he gets up and gives the old double birds to the cardboard cutouts.
Could have been one of the more bizarre moments there too, wouldn't it? It was.
Oh, mate. He was upset, wasn't he, the big fella? Bloody tears rolling down his face. And got the lip and everything.
Here it is.
Against the Eels on Saturday.
Here he is. Got a bit of volume too.
Just under
the ranger.
Go first half.
So,
Saturday. Oh, hang on. What's going on here? Madison over the top of Corey Osborne again. Well, they just don't like redheads, Parramatta. That's been confirmed. They got something.
Jeez, that's rough from Parramatta. Dirty blokes.
Dirty tactics. Yeah.
Smart play, that. Real smart. Just wrestle.
Here on
Saturday. Trying to take. There he is. The big fella. Straight to the cardboard cutouts.
Good on him.
More drama.
He's crying.
I wish my
He's emotional, all right.
Wish my team showed the most passion.
I was about to say that. Someone said that, but that's an example of what the Broncos are missing. A bit of passion. Troy, what do you got? Rock of the week?
I'm going to go the Collingwood, is he skipper or vice skipper? Side bottom.
Steele.
Yeah.
Best name in sports.
Steele. He doesn't know. He doesn't know what the bubble is. He just does what he wants. Steele.
Steele side bottom.
He got drunk the other night. Just started getting driven around everywhere around the town. Hey?
Trying to take your beloved game away from you, Troy.
Yeah. Then he didn't remember what happened. I don't know. I had too much to drink. So.
Good on
I think Steele's out for a month, isn't he?
Yep.
Yeah, the AFL come out hard, give him the month. See Collingwood come out and try and defend him.
Yeah, how can you?
Trying to defend him, yeah.
Dual
so, old Steele is trying to get the comp taken away from the Lions. That's what he's trying to do.
My rock of the week actually probably could be a diamond of the week because it's a pretty good.
Oh, don't tell me. This is my diamond. Bobby Vanilla?
No.
Oh, good.
I don't know what you're talking about. No. Did you see this week, right? So remember Deron Williams?
Yeah.
Was a handy basketballer at some stage. Well, this week
he was the first big name for Brooklyn.
Yeah. And that cost him a lot. This week he got his final paycheck from Brooklyn, despite the fact he hasn't played for them in 5 years or something. So one of those blokes, he signed about $100 million contract. And what I've got to do, hang on, bring it up here somewhere. So Yeah, so he signed a 5-year, $98.77 million contract back in 2012. At the time, he was coming off 21 8.7 point season. He went like a busted since then. And following the 2014-15 season, the Nets decided to blow up the team because they had him and Joe Johnson carrying the load there. So they decided to buy out his contract, but they didn't want to pay the remainder up front. So they backloaded the remaining $27.5 million and pushed it out over the remaining 5 years. So between 2015 and 2020, they were paying him over $5 million a year.
Shoot to me, brother. Shoot to me. Hit me over here.
I was like, unbelievable. So while he was
I'll one up you.
During that time, he also went to the Mavericks, collected $10 million, and then the Cavaliers for a year. Lewis hit the green 148. Haven't done that in a while, but I did that day.
Sunday, I saw it.
Yeah,
but up on the dance floor.
And then 7 putted it, so that's all good. But thanks to it, that's good. So thanks to the 13%, I'll put that up on Instagram, the 13% that believed I actually hit the green and not in the water. Actually, if I was voting, I would have went in the water myself. So Joel got a few in there. Joel got a few in there.
I had to go swimming to find a box of balls, mate.
Anyway, so mine's with the Nets or whoever, just like how you end up in that situation. So here's a bloke. Actually, he plays good golf, Deron Williams. I don't know if you follow him on Instagram. He's always out there on the golf course. And so he should be. He's got $27.5 million to practice.
I've got the one that one's up you on this. Oh, Bobby Bonilla. Have it.
So we're going diamond. Yep.
Listen to this. So Bobby Bonilla, he's a 6-time All-Star MLB player. He won the he played from 86 to 2001. Played for 8 different clubs. He won the World Series in 97 with the Florida Marlins. Same sort of thing. They traded him. He's the highest paid in 92 and 94 in Baltimore, blah, blah, blah. Went on to play for the Dodgers. Went to the Mets, right? So this is where it gets good for him when he's at the Mets. The Mets released him, but they still owed him $5.9 million, right? So that's, what's that? A fifth of what your man Deron was getting. Bonilla and his agent offered the Mets a deal. Bonilla would delay the payment until 2011, take the payout annually over time with 8% interest. The Mets owner took the deal because he thought his investment with the Ponzi scheme mastermind Bernie Madoff would pay him 10% in returns more than it was going to cover his payout, right? The scheme cost him, I think it was $92 billion or something ridiculous like that. My man Bobby Bonilla, he'll get a $1.193 million payout every year every 1st of July, $1.19 million. He's 56 now. I think he gets till he's 72-year-old. 2035, that'll finish.
Good retirement plan.
That is the greatest back-end contract you'll ever see.
Good on him.
1.19 year. So he's 50 years and played baseball in bloody, 20 years, and he's still copping a mil, 1.2 a year. 1.2 a year.
What'd you say? How old is he now? 57.
Oh, he's
56, wasn't he?
So he's got another 14 years of this until he's 70. Did you say?
Something like another 15 years or something.
Oh,
until he's 72.
Yep. Hats off. Well
Bobby Bonilla.
Diamond of
the week.
Yeah, done.
Well.
Troy, what do you got? Diamond of the week.
I'm going to go Wayne Bennett. I like the way Wayne's handled things over the last few weeks. Like everyone blew up. A lot of people blew up at the way he handled the Latrell thing a couple of weeks ago.
Yep.
We've all played sport, and we know that the sheds are a sacred place, and I think he's in his right to defend Latrell and back him 100%. And what he did, he's continued to do it in the weeks afterwards. It's kind of been blown away now. Wayne shielded him, and we don't need to know what happened. It could have been something. Obviously, it is something pretty personal. They like to know everything that's going on with players these days, but I think they've got to tread carefully when it comes to personal issues with them. So I just think the way Wayne handled it was the way Wayne does it. I love this.
No.
Like he just they look at Wayne, But no, the way he just rebutted the media.
Dumb questions.
I think it was great. Yeah, and that's how he treated them. He treated them like they were dumb.
He's the master. He knows what
unfortunately, the game gave away a lot of our rights to those places. But in my mind and my headset, it's a place where we can go and be who we want to be and not have to answer to anybody about it.
The fans would love to know. They love.
Well, the fans love to know a lot of things that we don't tell them. Okay, so they won't be disappointed. They'll understand my position with it. No, I've just explained here. So keep asking.
Wayne at his best.
I don't know what to say about it.
Wayne at his best right there. So, yeah, good diamond. What are we up to? Steve, did you do us? No? Yep, sorry. Where am I?
I didn't. Just Josh Reynolds from the Tigers. So he had a pretty tumultuous few weeks, got bandied back to reserve grade. Looks like he was going to fade off into the NRL oblivion there on the outer. Then he had that crazy bird. I tell you what, whatever was going on there. But anyway, instead of just sucking it and saying I should be playing somewhere, I deserve this, he got down, hooked in, played a bit of Reggie's or whatever back into last year, start of this year, and now he's back in the swing of things for the Tigers, and he's basically got him rolling. So a couple of wins in a row, and now Benji's been sort of taking his spot. So Josh Reynolds sticking at it.
Yeah, good.
Working his way back into the mix.
Funny you mentioned that, Steve. My diamond just dovetails beautifully off yours. Mine's actually the man that he replaced. And I thought, how refreshing is this week? Was Benji Marshall. So Benji's been dropped for Josh Reynolds. Reynolds going great. So a lot of speculation about Benji being shipped here or there, or he should go to the Warriors, he should go here. And I loved the attitude. They interviewed him on NRL 360 the other day. I thought it was so refreshing. Like, he's been dropped and he's not dropped. He's same thing what you're talking about, Steve. And that probably, again, shows to me a good culture of a club. Benji said, I'm not going anywhere. He said, I got dropped because I wasn't playing well enough. So he said, I still think I can contribute to this team during the week in the training paddock. He said, and I'm going to work hard and I'm going to be back, and I want to be back playing first grade before the end of the season. I've just got to knuckle down and work hard and show the coach week in, week out through training and what I can do to get my spot back. And I thought, how good's that? Rather than just as you said, like, and so to me, I think, well, that's what I thought. Well, talking about culture, as you said, exactly with Reynolds and what he did. Now you see Marshall, who's just saying, well, yeah, I got dropped because I'm not playing well enough.
Throw Darius Boyd in the situation and see how that gets handled.
Exactly. So that's I thought how refreshing is that? So we're normally to be eyeing it. Now that I've said that, Benji probably get a release next week and go and play for Canterbury. But anyway, but I just thought it was really good. I thought it was really refreshing to see that that's the way he handled. That's what he said. I'm not going anywhere. I'm going to just keep working hard and do what I can, support the team during the week, because it's about a team. So because obviously this is his last year, so to saying he could be in the position where he finishes his career as number 18, 19. That could happen. As you said, the way they're going. So, but as I said, he hasn't tossed it in and said, blow is this. And so, yeah, so I thought Benji Marshall, diamond of the week for me. So it was great to see. And that shows a pretty good culture, I reckon.
Tell you what, they got some good halves there, haven't they?
Yeah.
Or even around 6, 7, and 9.
Yeah, so I thought it was terrific the way he handled that. So, Benji, diamond of the week. Right, let's find a winner. Semi-Pros multi of the week. No good last week. Back to the drawing board. Troy's tip, we had to wait till Tuesday. That did no good at Bundaberg. Jonesy, your former teammate, threw one in there for you.
Yeah, good on him.
What do we got? Winners, losers? No, not losers, winners. Who's got a win?
I got one. I was real keen on this last start. Flemington race 5, number 3, Rich Charm was enormous first up, just missed. Last start got held up and ran through the line over 1,100. This is 1,200. Yudette Clark, talk about when they love the horse. This lady absolutely adores her horses. And for $5.50, I reckon this is a nice bet. Down the straight at Flemington, $5.50. Good horse, Rich Charm. And I think 1,200 will help and hopefully gets a crack at him this time, unlike last start. Right. $5.50, race 5.
Troy? Winner?
Hopefully, yeah. Hopefully, winner, James. Eagle Farm, race 7. I'm going to stick with Stuttering. It's in good form. It's won its last 2. Who's riding? Duplessis is aboard.
Mark.
And it just loves the distance. 4 for 2 wins and a third. In good form. I think it'll continue. 550. Get on.
Righto. Okay. Nice little multi-booster. Steve, what do you got?
Yeah, I've got to change now.
Did you have it?
No.
So,
I'm sticking with the
I know.
Do you want me to go?
Chico Milagro, weren't you?
bloodstock horses. Yeah, you go, and I'll find this other one I'm looking for.
Righto. I'm going to Flemington, only because it's the only race I've done some form on. So I was planning on doing that, but that didn't end up happening. But I'm going to back in Flemington here. Race 3, horse 12, Insaf. I've been on this horse. Oh, sorry, I wasn't on it last time. I was on it start. But anyway, go back. Start prior, it ran third to Cherry Tortoni. Cherry Tortoni was the winner of that race, and will start the favourite here. And we step up another 200 metres this time up to the mile. I think that'll make a bit of a difference here. Cherry Tortoni had everything to suit last start. They went quick enough up front, got the nice track into it, and it showed a pretty blinding turn of speed. Had the fastest 400 to 200 in the race, and then it was pretty much all over from there. But this horse then, it really started to find its feet, and I thought its last 200 was impressive. So I think stepping up to the mile, it can turn the tables, and we're getting a decent price to find out as well. 12 Insaf. It is paying $15. So that's what I'm going to be on. I'm keen on it this week. Flemington race 3, horse 12 Insaf.
I thought you might have been going back to the well.
With
Smoke Bomb.
Yeah, I haven't got that far yet. So, but I genuinely like this horse 12 Insaf. Race 3, 12. Steve, what have you landed on?
Oh, I think it was the race 4. One we backed a few times. Lashoni, number 11, Eagle Farm. Little suit, get back, run on. Was too bad to be true last start, so give it a forgive. And then, 1400. Bit of pace on. No better race than what it's been running in. Benchmark 75. So good track, I think, is the key. So if it can stay dry down there or good enough. The top side is soft and it'll be in the finish. So $10, $11, I think. So the Shoney for the Golden Camp.
Lashoni, all right. That's our semi-pros multi of the week. So hopefully we can find a winner for you there. Good luck if you're having a bet this weekend. Righto, that wraps up the show for this week. What's happening this weekend? Anything on? Anything we should be mentioning that's happening this weekend?
Oh, me and you got a bit of a rehearsal for this fight night we're doing week after.
Oh, yeah, so the fight night that comes up next Saturday, so Saturday week, the 12th. So run through that. Zach Ford, the mastermind behind all of the pitches and so forth of the semi-pros, is running that show. So it'll be the first sort of live event, sporting event in terms of boxing in the country since COVID. So that's on, so a rehearsal for that's on next Saturday. Anything else happening this weekend? Anyone got anything on? Anything that needs to be plugged or mentioned that's going on? That draft comes up, as you said, 19th. So the DDBBL is a few weeks away. Yeah, so we've got that one just around the corner as well. Anything else?
No idea.
Steve?
No.
Monthly medal returns.
Blue markers, pins.
Yeah, not going to be easy. Not going to be, anyway, we'll see how we go there. So that's on, monthly medal returns at City Golf Club. So we'll see how we go there. That's on this weekend. All right. So whatever you're doing this weekend, enjoy it. So thanks for joining us on the Semi-Pros. Look forward to talking to you next week.
Just about do, mate. Surely. There you go. That's outstanding. That much talent running around in our own backyard.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Semi-Pros. The Semi-Pros.
Ladies and gentlemen, give it up. The Stower.